Go Big Blue, go Giants. Go Big Blue, New York Giants. Go Big Blue, Super Bowl Giants. Go Big Blue, go Giants.
God, it's great to be a Cowboy, isn't it? This is how we do stuff. This is the Cowboys. We're trying to do something. Really, it's time to leave the football team. It's time. It's your time.
It's our time right now. 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 We upgrade this, might as well face it. Can't stop us no matter how hard you try. I know you see us taking over. It ain't no lie. It's our time right now. 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 It's our time right now.
Oh, sorry. It's our time right now. It's our time. We're on the show. We're here. How are you doing this afternoon, Byron?
I'm hot. It's 104 degrees in Texas. It's hot out there.
It is hot. There's no question about it. It is burning up.
But this is the hump day.
Yes.
This is the most exciting day of the week. You know, we can get things rolling, talk football. Training camp is right around the corner. We are in the month of July, baby. July.
Yeah. And in July, we'll be in training camp. And I'm thinking about doing a on-site for the Cowboys. Go out to it's in Ventura now. It's not Thousand Oaks. We'll go out there and see what's going on, see what's really happening. That'll
be really good because I think you can bring it up close and people can really see the insights and get the in and out of what training camp is all about.
No question, and get the feel of what it's like.
Yeah.
Because training camp is unique. Even today, it's unique. When you go and you see how hard they work to prepare themselves for the season, it's not like when we did.
Yeah.
Because when we did it, because they don't have over 100 players. I remember the Cowboys had, but my rookie year, 140 originally.
Yeah.
And then that's obviously they whittled it down for when the veterans came in and everything. Right. So it's a lot different.
I think they bring in about 80 players, and they might max out at 90.
I think so.
But they keep them all the way up until the final week, and then they have 10 to 15 guys on the practice roster. So it's a whole different dynamic.
Yeah. Hey, just before we start, I wanted to let you know, did a poll on Facebook, the people who watch the show and everything. And unfortunately, they said I was 95% cuter than you were. And I didn't want to tell you that, but that's what the fans said. The fans say this, so it must be.
So when did you send the poll out? I
sent it a couple of days ago just to see, because I want to get more interest.
I'm going to send a poll out. I'm going to send a poll out for 5 days. I'm going to send it out for 5 days.
It was 4. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I mean, it's not me.
Well, I don't feel bad about that. I don't really feel bad about that poll, because the reason why I don't feel bad about that poll is because I have 7 sisters. And I always have been told, my dad always have told me, you got to be tough, son. So he didn't want me to be cute. So you probably a little bit cuter than me. And I'm a little bit my rugged side. I'm a little bit more the rugged side.
but I have 4 brothers. I only have 1 sister. So.
Okay. I can see why you probably look a little bit better than me than you had 4 brothers. I had 7 sisters. And you know what, Jim?
I bet you those sisters whooped your behind too.
They did. And guess what? I stayed outside till it got dark because I didn't want to be around all them dresses and stuff.
Because they might try to fit you in one.
But, hey, my daddy told me earlier on, he said, boy, if I ever see you in a pair of shoes or dress, I'm going to beat your brains out.
Oh,
that's all he had to tell me. That's all he had to tell me.
We don't want to go down that road, okay? We don't want to go down that road because everything is so politically correct they'll be throwing both of us off this show.
So, Jim, I want to congratulate you for winning the poll. And I don't know who took the poll. I don't know when the poll went out.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was like 8,000 people. You had got 5% of the votes, but I mean, out of 8,000, so
I'm gonna have to see if I can get this poll. Oh, did you take the poll in Dallas, or where did the poll come from? I want to know.
It was on Facebook. I just was curious. I want to see how many people are watching the show.
How many fans do follow you on Facebook?
Oh shoot, I got over. I'm on the max, whatever the max is for Facebook.
Well,
I can't even add any more friends.
Well, we're gonna live with that. I'm okay.
Don't worry about it. Hey,
but I'm gonna tell you now, I don't believe it.
You didn't believe I won the fishing tournament, and then, hey, we got proof. You even gave me the award.
You didn't take a picture with no fish, okay? So
here we go. I got the picture. I sent it to a producer.
You got your award. Award.
But let's get on to the show.
Get on to the show. Hey, it's a good thing happened today with the Cleveland Browns. I'm thinking they're trying to get things resolved, but I'm happy for Baker Mayfield. I'm really happy for him.
Yeah. But here's the thing that was kind of a little bit unusual. I mean, Baker Mayfield has won a playoff game. He was one play away from going to the championship game. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
And they got Carolina got him for a 5th round draft choice.
Yep, conditional 5th round draft choice.
Conditional one.
Yeah.
And to think about that, how far he has fallen from grace in such a short period of time. I mean, this guy was a playoff quarterback.
Well,
he didn't make plays.
This is the intangible things I think people need to think about. When you're playing a team sport, you got to be a team player. And I think he kind of got beside himself once he got, into the flow of things and all those commercials. You still got to humble yourself and control that locker room. I think you have to earn the respect of your teammates in the locker room. And I think that's kind of what separated him from being the complete player. I think that was lacking on his part. But I think for his talent and skill sets and the thing he brings to the team, what he did for the city of Cleveland, all his involvement, I think that speaks volumes. And I think it was a bad last chapter, and I think that hopefully he go and redeem himself in Carolina.
Yeah, and I kind of honestly, I hope he does well. I hope whatever issues he had with Cleveland, he resolves them. But Sam Darnold is like the bad luck kid.
You know what? They was in the same draft class. I think they 2 or 3 picks away. Of course, Baker was the first pick. Then the Jets picked Sam. So, man, seemed like to me they almost about even in what they bring into their team.
You think so?
Yeah, I just think.
See, that's the one thing I would have to disagree with because Sam Darnold has never had a successful run in the NFL. He didn't with the Jets. Obviously, he got injured with Carolina. But Baker Mayfield, he did get injured last year, but he did not. He did get to almost one play away from getting to the championship game.
Well, Matt Rule, this is going to be a pivotal year for him.
Oh yeah,
that he got the win. If not, they have a new coach. And
yeah, because this owner is not patient.
He's not. And I did a little research today, and the offensive coordinator is Ben McAdoo.
Yes.
And do you know Ben?
Yes.
McAdoo? Okay. Well, he going to have to do some magical things to get that offense moving. Of course, if they get Christian back healthy, the running back healthy, McCarthy.
But he ain't gonna stay healthy. He's not gonna stay. He's just too little.
But we
played him. I'm telling you, Byron, we played him at Stanford when I was coaching at the University of Colorado.
Yeah.
The first year, he was unstoppable when we played.
Right.
They had that big offensive line and they pound you. But the next year, we got after him and tagged him, and he didn't even finish the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just not a very big guy. He's a very talented player, but he cannot stay healthy. The game is too physical.
Yeah, and plus they added an extra week, so it's 18-week schedule.
Yeah.
They got two. Of course, they got that one game of free week, off week, but I really like Carolina being. They kind of remind me of the Giants. They play team tough.
Yeah. But this, like you said, is pivotal because that owner's David Tepper is not patient. He's worth $16.7 billion. He felt he had a thing in I think it's called Rock Island or Rock something in South Carolina. That's where they were going to build their facility, and he just backed out of it. I mean, he just left them holding the bag.
Yeah.
So you know what's going on in his mind. It's either now in my way and what I want it done now. Don't wait. So.
Well, the one thing that you and I know that the owners don't usually play by the rules. They do what
they don't. They play by their own rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens with Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold.
Yeah. But I just wish. Well, one thing that Cleveland did, but they kind of saved a little bit of money.
Yeah, they did.
Pushing Baker
because they still got to pay Sam Darnold $18.8 million, and they only have to pay Baker Mayfield $5.8 million.
Yeah.
Now,
So then,
actually, you know what it is? It's 5.3 because Cleveland is paying the 10 point something.
Yeah, Cleveland saved itself, I think, $3.5 million or something.
Yeah, they did
something like that. But if you look at both salaries, I mean, they still in the 30-some million range. Keeping them both. But that could come back to bite them. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. My man Jason keeps texting me, say he's having problems getting in and watches. Hopefully he'll get in a little later because we got to always have some Minnesota.
Well, we need some Minnesota Vikings fans out there. Kirk Cousins is predicted to win the NFC North Division, baby. That's what I saw today.
Whoa. Really?
That's what I saw.
Wow. And he's not here to hear that.
They are talking about the Vikings is going to be surprised.
I think they will, but I don't know. I mean, that's a big if. Yeah. But let's talk about some more of the things that are going on. Deshaun Watson. They haven't decided after 6 days with his punt. This is a very tricky slope. I know people would argue with me, but he did sit out all last year.
Yeah.
And now people are saying 8 games.
Yeah.
And the argument is, hey, I did not at my choice. I sat out 8 games. I was paid, but they would not let me play.
Yeah.
Now you're going to tell me I got to take another season in an indefinite suspension? Well, let's take it to court and see. And I'm just telling you, this is going to be huge. People are going to argue. They're going to scream. But does he have a legitimate case? He did not. In the court of law, he was not obviously indicted on anything.
Yeah.
2 jurisdictions did not indict him. And I'm not saying, people don't go back and tell your friends, well, Jim Jeffcoat said it. I'm not saying he was right. But there's something going on in the background that makes this case different.
But he's guilty.
But what is he guilty of?
Well, if you ain't guilty, you will be paying 20 of the 24 complainants.
Yeah, but what is he guilty? And that's it. But what is he guilty of? Is he guilty of unwanted advances, or is he guilty of just?
He's guilty of being stupid. One, he guilty of being stupid, but he guilty of I just think that they're gonna give him probably some suspension. He probably have 3 to 4 game suspension like they usually do. And I don't think he'll get an 8-game suspension, but I could be wrong.
I'm not saying he's not. I think he is wrong. But the problem is in the court of law, they couldn't prosecute him. So they know something. And
and that, I guess hopefully in the next week or 2 we hear a little bit more before the season starts.
And now they're going after the Texans. Those
They should go after the Texans because they was involved in it. They was a part of it.
Giving them NDAs.
Yeah.
With these, and it's just, I'm not saying that anybody's right in this because he's wrong. I don't know what happened in these. Nobody knows. It's your word against their word. That's what it sounds like to me, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So, Jim, guess what happened yesterday?
What?
I went and got a massage. I went and got a massage. Mm-hmm. But you know what I did?
What?
I let a man massage me yesterday. I'm gonna send a note. I'm gonna send a note to Deshaun Watson. You let a man massage you, you won't get in trouble, son.
Well, you're a bigger man than I am.
Sometimes you got to try things out just so you can stay focused on your task.
I'm proud of you. I am proud of you.
But let me tell you what I did.
What?
I had my wife in there. She had a woman massaging her. So we had a couples massage, a double massage. First time ever. But I was thinking about Deshaun Watson. I said, man, he might have to do this. This might be keeping him out of trouble.
He might have to. You do make a good point. You do have a good point.
But when his football career is over, he can get a massage however way he wants.
Yeah, that is true.
He needs to stay away from massages right now.
Yeah, I would have to agree. You have no argument, but be honest with
hey, that's what I love about this show. We bring out some things that make you say, maybe that's what he should be doing.
Yeah. And I have no argument. You might have to do that for the rest of his career.
Got me scratching my head. I'm gonna scratch my head because I still don't believe that that people say you look better than me. And I just don't believe it.
Well, you can't believe it. It's hard to believe, but you have to look at reality. That's what it is.
I ain't never known a man that wear a 4X shirt look better than a man that wear a large.
Oh, man. Well, there's always the first time, and you just found out.
What else is going on in the news? NFL news. What else?
As usual, this is an anniversary. Joe Delaney on June 29th. Mm-hmm. Only 2 years with the Chiefs. We know that he ran for over 1,000 yards, really 1,221 yards.
Yeah.
And he was trying to save kids.
Right.
Lime lake. It wasn't really a lake. It was a pit.
Yeah.
And some kids were, and he tried to go in there and save them. And from what I remember, he didn't know how to swim.
No, he didn't. It was a man-made pond.
Yeah, it was a man-made pond.
Joe Delaney is from USAL, Southwest Louisiana University. Yeah. He came out. UTA, the school that I went to, played them, and he was a legend, man. He was an awesome individual.
Yeah, he was, and he was only there for 2 years, and he drowned, and that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. And his friend in 2020, Marvin Dearman, who retrieved his body, lobbied the lake in the NFL and said it never left his mind, and he died in his arms. Could you imagine that?
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, and
I'm glad they bringing that up, and it should be something special. I know the Chiefs is one of the best organizations in the NFL, and I know that they have done a lot. I don't know all the details, but they should have a Joe Delaney Day. I'm gonna mention it to Priest and see if we got any updates on that.
Yeah, because that's kind of unusual. Because Kansas City is usually forefront with a lot of things. I'm kind of shocked at that one.
Yeah. And Kansas City is one of the elite NFL clubs in the National Football League. Yeah, it
is. That's because I find that kind of a little bit different. But Joe Delaney was on his way to being a tremendous player in the NFL, and it's unfortunate. And anytime you have that with any player in the NFL, and they died at a young age, just like the gentleman who died at the Ravens, the linebacker, and he was taking some, and that's what young men don't understand.
Yeah,
all these things, the lend biases. This young man, they're taking illegal drugs, and let's be honest, they're taking their life in their hands every time they do something like this.
Yeah. And if you watch the news, people are lacing these drugs with all kind of different things, and
exactly,
it's not good for your body. And then, every year you see players have to sit out games for testing positive and things like that, and it just ain't worth it. You don't know, you really, it's a suicidal deal almost if you go down that road.
Mm-hmm. It is, and it's unfortunate. And Jelani's was totally different. Obviously.
Yeah.
He was trying to save some children, but I mean, it's unfortunate when you see young lives lost, not just players, but any young lives being lost. Yeah. And they didn't get the opportunity to enjoy their lives. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then, is it how you say Denario Thomas?
Yeah.
They said he had a CTE. He had a second stage of CTE.
Yeah, I was talking to a gentleman today, and he was saying that they coming out with a product to help CTE. It's more like a CBD hemp process to help enhance the recovery of your brain's cells. And so I'm getting more information on that, and if so, we'll talk about that down the road.
Yeah, because it's the more we find out about it, the more we're seeing that the effects of it. I mean, Aaron Hernandez, they said he had the brain of the damage in the brain of a 60-year-old.
Yeah. So, and when the concussion movie came out, it really shined a light on some of the things that we've been affected with. Not only just the football players, but the military guys as well.
Yes.
Military. So it's really a space that we need to get more control over and help
research. No question.
Yeah.
No question. So that's there. Now there's a punter. I want to say his name is Marquise Lane.
Marquise
Lane. Not Lang. It was. I think his name is something else.
Okay.
But he's punted for like 6 or 7 years, and he's a black punter. And his last team he was with the Raiders, because I remember him being with the Broncos. And he said he's done fighting in a series of tweets suggesting that all black punters and kickers face discrimination. What do you think of that?
I never been around too many black punters, but I have seen some that make it. I know they have a black punter with the Steelers. They had a good punter in the USFL, and I just think it's one of those areas to where you have to be consistent in your kicking, and accuracy and ball placement, all that matters. Now, the one thing I learned about playing with Bill Parcells, he didn't care too much about kickers and punters, and he'll tell you quickly, you mess up. He was bringing in a kick almost every week to let you know if you miss these extra field goals and things that you should be making, you are out of here. But it's I don't think it's discrimination. I just think it's one of those positions where your production and what you do on the football field is being watched closely, and people don't realize, we have kicking field goals and ball placement all the time during practice, and every time they kick, the stats are kept. Who making and all that.
Oh, no question.
So it's all about accuracy and consistency in the kicking game. Yeah,
but in our era, there were 2 punters that you can remember. Reggie Roby, who came in with the 1983 class.
Right.
And Randall Cunningham was a punter. If you don't, I know you don't remember. I know he was a great quarterback. He also was a punter.
Right.
And they were pretty successful, and they had long extended careers. And I don't know enough about this punter, even researching him, to say that he's good or bad. But I could see how you feel sometimes, because he was one of those players that you don't see it very often in the kicking. But like you said, that you gotta be good at it. You got to be good at punting. You got to be good at kicking if you're going to choose that to make your living.
Yeah.
Did you know I was field goal kicker in high school.
Did you have the square boot?
Yeah, I had the square toe.
And they had the screen to make sure.
Yep. They sure did. That's how I kicked it.
We had an offensive lineman in high school that did it too. He went to Tulane, and he reminded me of probably you. You and him probably walk alike. So I can see you doing a kickoff. What you average 30?
I can kick.
What you kick 30?
I kick it out of the end zone. On the kickoffs, I kick it out of the end zone.
Let me ask you, did you kick a 35-yard or shorter? What was your specialty?
Extra points. Kicking extra points.
And the ball had to be in the center of the field in order for you.
No. I could kick. I bet you if they would have let me, I would have Tom Dempsey kicked me like a 65-yarder.
Tom Dempsey, man, I was like always in awe watching him kick.
Yeah, every time you see that was unbelievable.
He kicked that 65-yarder.
Yeah.
And then he kicked some balls in the cold weather and the football fields be all messed up.
Now somebody broke his record. Was it Vinatieri?
Yeah, somebody
broke his record and hit like a 67-yarder.
Yeah. You know, one of the best kickers that's in the Hall of Fame was in my draft class, in our draft class, Martin Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
He was a great kicker.
Yeah, he was a great kicker.
Yeah.
He was. No question. I didn't realize he was the class of 83.
Yeah, he was in that class. Class.
Yeah.
And then we had a good punter. His name was Dave Jennings up there with the Giants. He stayed a long time.
Yeah, and like I said, him, Reggie Roby, they had some good punters there.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah,
Ray Guy was a tremendous. You could go through the history of football. You can find. So I don't know if I agree with him that discrimination. You got to perform, and it doesn't not just for punters, but every position in the NFL, because we know the NFL stands for not for long.
Not for long, but like I said earlier, it's all about being accurate and consistent, and you know it's having the confidence. If you miss a couple of field goals and you go into the tank, man, that's everybody. You be the only guy on that sideline. Ain't nobody coming there patting you on the back, and then if you miss that field goal where you can win a game or something, it could be a lonely seat.
Yeah. My guy Jason just texted me. He said he got on through Roku.
Okay.
And people have to realize if you're not getting on through YouTube, you can always go to Roku and get us. And he just got on. So
hey, Jason.
Yeah.
What's up?
Jason.
That means Vikings.
I don't think he can talk to us tonight because I don't know if we have the same capabilities on Roku to have people.
Our producer Mike can, send us a message.
Yeah, he can send us a message. But let's keep on moving on. Our man, Daniel Snyder.
Here we go.
Of the Commodores,
Washington
Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah. And he's trying to aggressively attack the media that attacks him.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know if he's going to go to the oversight committee. This is what I read, and it might not be true. Okay. But they're saying that he is trying to wait till after the elections, because if a certain group takes over the Senate, this case is going to go away.
Okay.
Him. But still, from what I understand, he did do something illegal. I mean, he was cheating the NFL. And just like you were saying before the show, Goodell, I don't know what, our producer was saying, I don't know what power he has, but I mean, can't be good PR with the Watson and some of the things that are going on in the NFL now.
Yeah.
I mean, and we'll talk about some things later that involve the Cowboys. And everybody says, well, any news is good news, but some of the stuff is kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, football is probably the most popular sport in America.
Right.
And it's starting to go global because you know more about this. Is Ozzie Umanero took people over to Africa.
Yeah.
and they're starting to work with people there
Right.
to find players and teach them American football.
Yep.
And then you saw what happened with the NFL the NBA.
NBA went over there. They got teams over there now.
Yeah. And they start taking African players, and you see what that does. And what they're trying to do is make this global. They're trying to make football global. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And here's my reasoning behind it is if you go to anybody, you can play basketball anywhere. It's just like soccer.
Yeah, right.
You remember as a kid, we get some old bicycle rams, and just that was our hoop a lot of times.
Yeah.
So you can play basketball anywhere. Football,
it's a different animal. It's a different
animal. You gotta wear equipment. You gotta,
the field. I mean, the fields have to be perfect. The weather conditions have to be a little bit different. Even up in Canada, just the skill sets of players. They're gonna have the game in Germany this year. They got 3 games in London this year.
Mexico.
And in Mexico too. So they're trying to make it global, but it's gonna take a while before you can really set everything in place for it can be very competitive. And then the travel and the distance is another key component within your 18-20 week time frame.
Yeah. And the thing that it is a lot of these sports, basketball, it's an American sport, but it can be global because you play it everywhere. Soccer, it is more of a European or a sport, but you can, like I said, you can do it anywhere. Baseball, things like that. But football is a little unique because it's so American. And
and back in 1991, when we had the World League, it was very unique. We had 4 teams, I think 3 teams over in Europe. And 1 team in London, 1 team in Barcelona, and one team in Germany, Frankfurt, Germany. And each team, we had 10 teams. Each team had a countryman on the team. We had a guy from Germany on our team that was a tight end, and he was a big guy, but he caught the ball. Everything he caught cradled the ball. But it was so good because they called these guys ambassadors, right? So it was really good because when the football season was over, they was able to go back to their country, and they taught the kids in the community the game of football, American football. So I thought that was a good program. I thought that was it still could be a concept of teaching and enhancing the game of football.
I agree. My brother played in Scotland. He was Claymore, my youngest brother. So I agree with you. And one of my best players, Leroy Glover, played over there. He played over there in the what did they call it? WFL, right?
Yeah. It was the WFL, and then it became the NFL Europe. NFL Europe. They changed the dynamics of it, and that's when they went to a couple other locations as well.
Yeah. So but back to Snyder.
Yeah.
I mean, Snyder is unbelievable. I mean, this could be, if they get him in court and the U.S. government comes after you. Yeah. It's not a good road.
And he's not well liked too. So I mean. Yeah.
I mean, he cheated his other NFL partners.
Yeah.
I mean, he took money out of their pocket.
Yeah. And in the profit sharing deal, he was scamming on the tickets and things like that, ticket sales. And he should have been paying a little bit more out, and he didn't do that. So yeah.
Yeah, he didn't. And now if all this comes to a head, then we're going to see what happens with him. Yeah. But let's go on to a little bit of Cowboys news.
Cowboys.
Yeah. There's a lot of news.
Are they in the news? Or are they making news?
As always, they're making news. There is a coffee company called Black Rifle. And Jerry Jones has them promoted, or they have I guess, what would you call it, a contract, or they have something with
some type of sponsorship
with the Cowboys. And here are some of their coffees. They have a partnership on Twitter with Rifle Coffee and they call one of their things AK-47 Espresso.
That don't sound good.
Another one is a Silencer Smooth. And RIP Murder Out.
That's too controversial.
Very controversial because of what's going on in our nation today.
Yeah.
The thing that happened in Uvalde.
Yeah.
The thing that just happened this past Monday in Highland Park, Illinois.
Yeah.
The thing that's happened in Buffalo. I don't know if you want to put yourself in that position.
Did you see that Richmond, Virginia?
Yes.
Caught those guys before it happened on July 1st. They had
somebody turned them in.
Yeah.
They were going to do it in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was talking to someone today, and they were talking about that basically, is it a mental illness or is it just people who don't, and I know this is not a football subject.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is because football is still a part of this society. And, I mean, we're seeing things that are unusual in athletics and in our communities.
Well, I think some of our family members have to be alert and know the capacity and know what we're capable of. The kid that got caught this weekend, the Highland Park Village up there in Illinois, he tried to kill his family, a couple of years ago.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and they had trouble with him and his dad. They had guns and stuff, and they came out a couple of times, I think. But he was always deranged, and he was kind of like, hey, I killed my family, and he had threatened his family.
Wow. Yeah. And then he escaped by dressing himself up as a woman.
Yeah.
I saw that. But it's sad. It's any time, and there's sad parts of it, and that's the sad, and it's just not. It affects not just sports, but it affects our society. And sports do that too. When you have situations in sports, like some of the things that are going on with Deshaun Watson, Daniel Snyder, you don't think it affects the overall community, but it does.
It does. It trickled down. It
does trickle down.
Yeah.
Hey guys, couple things for people at home that are watching on Roku. You can't comment on the Roku channel, but you can, message Jim and Byron, and they'll answer your questions and bring it up on the show so that they know what's going on. Secondly, Goodell, he said that he thinks that Daniel Snyder was hands off during this process. So what it does is saves him from committing perjury on himself with the oversight committee. So there's Goodell protecting his butt from getting sued later or get in trouble for saying that he knew that Daniel Snyder had hands on. So go ahead, Jim.
No, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Daniel Snyder supposedly suspended this year from operating the team? Wasn't his wife taking over? So he's going to throw his wife under the bus and let her put her in jail.
Right. But the interesting thing is that Snyder is worried about him being called back and saying, hey, listen, you knew all along that Snyder had hands on. So guess what? You're going to pay a price too. So he kind of washed his hands of that. And just for all the folks out there, again, watching on Roku, you can't comment on Roku because it's a non-comment format. But you can call Jim and you can call Byron, and they'll answer your questions and bring your questions up. And this way, you guys can communicate with the show. That's all I got for you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
I'm getting a call from my mom now. Hey, Mom, you cannot vote for me 10,000 times on
Matt. I want you to go back and see if you can. Matt, I want Matt to take the survey on the looks. That's what I want.
Well, Byron, you would probably win that hands down. My wife thinks, well, both of you are incredibly looking, so I got to keep my eye on her now too. So thanks a lot for that.
Well, we know that you just celebrated your anniversary, so we gonna leave that speechless. But your wife have great taste. I can say that. She married a man that loved the Giants, so she got great taste.
Oh my goodness.
What else going on with them Cowboys?
The Cowboys have acknowledged interest in former Vikings linebacker Anthony Barr. Think he could be a help to Micah Parsons, even be another Micah Parsons 1A.
He's good. He's a good player.
Yeah, he is, but he's had some injuries.
Okay.
But here's the thing: didn't they just get Melvin? Is it Melvin Ingram?
Yeah,
So they're going to get I don't know how they're going to do this. They only got so many plays. Maybe they're just going to rotate them.
But what I like about Micah Parsons, he can play any position, any level. He can cover some of the inside receivers.
I agree.
He can do almost everything.
Yeah, yeah. You know, he got drafted for baseball.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got drafted for baseball. He was a tremendous baseball player.
You did say last week that he was compared to Lawrence Taylor, huh?
Yeah, size-wise.
Okay.
Size-wise. Yeah. And then Jason just texted me and said Barr would be a great addition because he was a Viking. So
I'm gonna say he ought to be crying if he leave the Vikings. They need him.
No, but they didn't sign him. They haven't re-signed him.
Oh, they didn't re-sign him. Okay.
Anthony Barr, and that's why they're saying that he's a free agent.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure he's gonna have to take a physical and find out if he has any injury.
He was a big part of their defense last year. It might be hard to replace him.
Yeah, he was, but he did have some injuries.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good one to have. But moving on, the Cowboys say these 5 players are ready to jump this year.
Okay.
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
And you can talk about CeeDee Lamb.
All right.
And I think he's gotten bigger and stronger looking at him.
Yeah, he have gained anywhere between 5 to 10 pounds, and I think his offseason we've been working on things they need to work on, and he know that he's gonna have to take the majority of the reps for his targets, and I think the timing of him and Dak gonna be point on. I liked him from day one when he was leaving out of OU, and I just seen how hard he's working. I just think last year my concern is they need to come up with the style of offense to move him around, create some mismatches, and let him just play and run those dynamic routes that he's capable of running. Yeah,
and Dak Prescott has taken, I think it was like 4 or 5 receivers, including Dalton Schultz, the tight end, to Miami, and they've been training in Miami. I know that the only rookie that was Jalen Tolbert, the kid they got from South Alabama. So we'll see that. But with CeeDee Lamb, he does look bigger, but he's going to be the focal point of the offense now. And can he handle it? And he probably could. I mean, he's got one of the most iconic numbers, and that doesn't mean anything in Cowboy history in '88. And we saw, the Drew Pearsons, the Michael Irvins, the Dez Bryants. Yeah. So 88 has been a good number for the Dallas Cowboys. It's been, and they only give it to who they think are going to be the big time receivers.
Yeah, it comes a lot with what the expectations will be when you wear that number for sure.
Yeah, no question. So, and then the next guy is Trayvon Diggs. Now Diggs has an advantage of that because his brother is one of probably the best receivers in the NFL, and he gets the opportunity to train with him, not all offseason, but to train with him during the offseason, and I'm sure that helps.
What I like about Trayvon is that he loves to compete. He's a student of the game. I mean, just the All-Star week, they was competing in Vegas, and he won that contest.
Yeah, that's right.
Hand down. So I just love his competitive, and when he got 11 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last year. I thought that was awesome. You know, he was on. I mean, he was shutting down receiver left and right last year.
Yeah, but it was interesting because Pro Football Focus didn't have good things to say about him. If you
I don't see why not. I don't see why not.
Get 11 interceptions. They were saying that he wasn't one of the top corners in the league, but he played like it.
He had instincts and he had his awareness, and you know he was reading through the receiver to the quarterback, and I think
he was playing like a wide receiver.
Yeah.
He understood the routes, the route patterns, and everything.
Yeah,
and I mean he played in a big time program at the University of Alabama.
Right.
Then they have Terrence Steele, the offensive tackle, who I do like.
You like him?
I like him a lot. I like him, and I think he'll be a better fit for him because he is more fundamentally sound. Darrell Collins was a better athlete. I mean, but he is a physical, aggressive guy.
Yeah.
But sometimes he couldn't control his emotions.
Yeah. He was very outspoken. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy was more of a steady player.
Okay.
And I think that's what you need. Offensive lineman, the less you hear about him, the better it is.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion on him. And he's one of the guys that just brings a lunch pail and does what he had to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'll have to find out the center. They have Tyler Bias. Yeah. So I'm going to have to find out more about him. But your center.
I hope he have a big ass if he gonna be a center. Hey, if he have a big ass, he might not be able to snap that thing ball today. Yeah, you better check him out. Hey, you go out there and do your special. You better check him out and see if he gonna bring it.
Shoot, I played with some big Derek Kennard, who was a big guy.
Derek Kennard, he's all over the field.
He blocked out the sun, and then Frank Cornish, God rest his soul. But they were big centers, and so I've seen some big centers.
We got to see what he gonna bring with that kind of name. Yeah.
And then Neville, it's Gallimore. He did play better last year. He got injured and he came back. And Gallimore, he was coached really well in college. He was
what college did Gallimore?
University of Oklahoma, and his defensive line coach was my graduate assistant at University of Houston. He had played the D-line coach played at the University of Oklahoma too. His name is Calvin Thibodeau. And I know he's a tremendous coach and a tremendous person. But Gallimore did get better as the season progressed. And that's going to be a big part of what they have to do to be successful. They're going to have to play in the interior because of some of the things that you said. If you get Barr and you got enough outside rushers, you got to have people going to try to run through that middle.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're going to have to be prepared for that.
The one thing that you have to look in the offensive line is that where that weak link is, and if it's gonna be, that area.
Yeah, no
because,
question.
That's so key.
Yeah. Now we can go on to what you guys are waiting for.
What we waiting for?
I mean, you can see right now without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate. All right, I know the Dallas Cowboys fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, from Brooklyn. Hey, isn't he?
I guess that puts us into the Giants news.
Hey, that's news. That's a hot topic, baby. You talking about?
Hot topic, yeah. Somebody doesn't like the Giants over there, and I know it is. Excuse me, the Cowboys. The Cowboys.
We didn't say we don't like the Cowboys. We just say the Cowboys are always making this the news that don't really matter in the offseason.
Oh, yeah.
They be out trying to.
Well, we're going to talk about the Giants right now.
All right.
And
what's going on with the Giants? Our top defensive lineman, our top defensive tackle, Leonard Williams.
I think Leonard Williams is really good, but the Giants fans don't. I think Leonard Williams is a player. There is no question about him.
I think he's a player too. I watched him in college. I think
USC.
I just think you have to put these guys in the right style of defenses, and they got to play to their favor. If he like the right side better than left side, little things like that matters.
And I don't think he is a waste on contracts because there are very few guys. And I will say this as a pro player, has had opportunity, and playing with some of the people I played with, the Randy Whites, the Leon Letts, the Tony Casillas, the Russell Mellors, the Chad Hennings. You need really good interior players to be effective as a defensive end. I mean, Lawrence Taylor would say that about the Jim Burks, the Leonard Marshalls, and guys like that.
Yeah. We had George Martin. Sally. We had some guys. We had some good guys. And
so I disagree with that. I think he's what they need. They're going to be better this year. They're going to be better.
I'm predicting him to make the Pro Bowl this year.
I would see that. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah. He should be good. He should be good.
And they're saying that it's not a waste of money. Now, we got Saquon saying he's got his groove back. He's like Stella. He done got his groove back. So for you guys that don't know, there used to be a movie, How Stella Got Her Groove Back. And she was in Jamaica. So Saquon went to Jamaica and got his groove back.
Well, one of the things I can tell you now, I think he's gonna be good. I think he's gonna be ready. I think now he's gonna be in an offense that they're gonna move him around, and it won't be so predictable. So the defense ain't gonna be locked and keyed on him. When you move him around, it's just gonna add more to what you can do for his opportunity. So I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen on the offensive side.
Yeah, and they doubters say he's fueled by grudges and trade rumors that made his head maybe derailed his career. But you got to remember, he wasn't healthy. And if he's healthy, I mean, he could be a weapon. Like he's moving around. And I think you're right on that.
And another thing, too, about playing in New York, I think he's in the best market. He can really do something. I think he sees that opportunity. Probably had time to see. It might be like Dak Prescott when he got hurt and stood out that year. Now maybe the same quest. I think he'll be okay.
I agree. I think I don't think it's long term, but for a couple of years, he's going to be a danger because
he could be one of the comeback players of the year.
I can see that.
Coming off an injury. Yeah. Yeah.
Now the NFL believes New York Giants linebacker, and I don't know how to say it, Tyrese Ojari, posed for a Pro Bowl year. I don't know a lot about him, but he's
been making a lot of headlines, and he having a good OTAs, and everybody says it's exciting, and that's what we need. We need somebody to help Martinez out in the linebacker position, and we are known for having linebackers, and so. Yeah. That's good. That's a good thing. And we excited about this kid.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Giants are more organized, and I think they're more structured.
Yeah.
And regardless of what you think, I think this is the coaching staff that's going to get the best out of their players. I think I've always liked Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And I think Daniel Jones is going to have a better year. It's just that I think the whole NFL East is going to be better, the NFC East.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's going to be a deterrent, but don't think they're going to take it out on other divisions because they're going to be better than people think they are.
Exactly. And another thing too, we always talked about this every year. The NFC East have a different champion. Last year the Cowboys won, so it got to be the Eagles, the Giants, or the Washington Commanders.
That was then. This is now. That was then.
Why you don't want to listen to me, Jim?
I'm not listening to you on that.
The Cowboys. Hey, I say the Cowboys might make the wild card team.
Oh my goodness. That was then.
Man, we can't be jumping on this. Man, everybody in Texas is on this wagon, and that wagon is so heavy right now. I can just see this wagon overturning down the middle of the freeway.
The Cowboys go as far as Zeke, and that will take them.
Well, they say Zeke is ready, so that's gonna be a key. That's gonna be a key.
So,
but
interesting. I
like the Giants. I
do like the Giants.
You know what? Today I was watching NFL Network, and man, the Washington team is not bad.
That's the scary team.
And I'm telling you, because they always have had a great defense. We don't know what Carson Wentz gonna do. And then of course, you know, the Philadelphia Eagles, man, I predicted them to be tough. I'm
not as high on Philadelphia. I think Washington, I'm higher on Washington than Philadelphia.
I'm higher on Philly. So I like the Giants and Philly. You like the Redskins and Cowboys.
Yeah. But here's the thing why I don't like why I like Washington is I think Ron Rivera is one of the top coaches in the
NFL. No doubt.
But because of the schedule last year with Philadelphia, I think some people, they didn't beat a winning team. That's what you got to remember.
Yeah, they schedule was soft, and I think.
And they play them now. We'll see how they play when they have to play them at home. They play, I think, 8 of the 9 at home. So that is an advantage for them.
Well, you know what I was doing today. So I was still talking about the NFL. What I was doing today, I was looking at some of the training camps. Most of the training camp days start for the rookies on July the 18th. And then the veterans, a lot of the veterans have to report in the July the 24th, so up in there, 22nd, 23rd. So I'm getting ready to smell this football.
Yeah, it's coming fast. It's really coming. So that's the thing that I'm excited about it. I am really excited about it. We got this on here about Conor McGregor versus Rafael Fiez, and I don't know a lot about it. I don't follow Conor McGregor. All I know is that he got that $1 million walk. That's about all I know about it. So don't have a lot of information. You might have more information on it than I do.
I know he drank that whiskey 7.
Mm-hmm.
That whiskey 7.
Yeah. But
Conor, he really brought a whole new demeanor for.
He did. Yeah. Now, in this 2-minute warning, last week they got us because of Landon. We were still talking when that 2-minute warning hit.
Yeah, the Grand Boys, they snuck in on me, and they surprised me.
Yeah. Well, if I'm missing, and I got a couple of things I shouldn't be missing on Wednesday, but I want Landon to take my place.
Nah, Landon, I put him in the locker room. He ain't getting out till I open up the locker room.
All right. Hey, but you know what? It's always good, and we got to have that victory formation, and it's always good to be with you. I'll see you next Wednesday, and enjoy this rest of this week. We over the hump.
Hey, Jim, I'm going to tell you to go out there and work out in this 100-degree weather because you out of shape, man. You out of shape.
The Hometown Foundation is excited to bring back the Dream Ride experience, August 26th to the 28th at Connecticut's Farmington Polo Club. Join us in celebrating the accomplishments of our Dream Riders while enjoying live music, a car and motorcycle show, family fun zone, pet adoptions, canine demonstrations, the Fireman's Chili Cook-Off, and much, much more. Get your tickets today.